Hey, Maria, back with another video, and I'm sitting here driving to work. I think it's like 6:30 right now. Yeah, 6:30. And the sun has just come up, and it looks really pretty outside. It's nice when the moon is still up, when the sun's up, you know. It's got this really cool look in the sky. Anyway, so, I made a few videos a few days ago, and I was really upset, I will tell you that, that it's not somebody being a drama queen or being over exaggerating their feelings. I mean, this sort of thing really disturbs a person. And I know that, like in sexual harassment trainings and stuff, oftentimes the instructor will emphasize just how damaging things like that are to people. And I'm talking about not just sexual harassment, any kind of harassment in the workplace. Usually that falls under discriminatory practices. But what I feel is what a person really goes through, those kind of seminars kind of underestimate. Actually, they do talk about the psychological damages and how it can be a lot of money. I mean, it's a huge thing that people get sued for. And oftentimes, saying something horrible or it could get really bad is an understatement of what this does to a person. So anyway, I always assumed that everybody followed that. I know that obviously they don't, because there's been so many lawsuits relating to sexual harassment through the years. But you think that, oh, that's just maybe one or two people who aren't compliant in this direction. But the fact is, it's very common. And there's probably there are a lot of women. There's a lot of targeted individual women in the United States as well as other countries. And that just goes to show you how lax people are, or completely ignorant as to what falls under the category of harassment. And then following up with what happens after, something that takes place in somebody's place of employment. When I left Karen Johnson's place and then I left Steve Murray's place, I would say that both situations had escalated into a mobbing situation. And, that right there is traumatizing enough, because, you got to go out and find another job, which of course they've had strings pulled and everything. But I will say that, still, it's extremely taxing. And so your only hope is just to start all over again, forget everything that happened, and just move on with your life. But that's not the case. So these people follow you year after year after year. And then when you do find out that they're responsible, you confront them after 600 something videos, and they're still attached to it. It's like you feel terrorized, and that's exactly how I feel. Maybe they thought, well, the cute guy's involved in this, we got him involved in it, the family was involved in it. That really upsets me that, he would have anything to do with you guys, period, okay? I'm not happy about that part of it, okay? Now, I'm not mad at him, mind you, but I think that, you guys are not good examples to be around. And, also what my family put in place, that is a very bad example as well, because they're setting an example that this is okay. It's not okay. It is not okay. So no, I don't have any respect for those people, and I'm referring to my family as well as the employers who got involved in this sort of thing, no matter what their intentions were. I know some people who claim to like me have always, kind of come off to me as not rude, but because I think there's so much difference, especially older generation white people. They tend to think with maybe an old Southern style of thinking, but yet still want to be your friend, and everything that comes out of their mouth is just absolutely disgusting. So yeah, these kind of people I don't like, okay? It's not that I don't like them, it's just I understand where they're coming from, but still they can be extremely abusive people. And so I choose to avoid them like the plague, Anyway, so, yeah, I'm pretty shaken by what's happened. And, I still struggle with it, okay? I mean, I've been trying to improve myself, meaning, getting out and doing what I need to do And it is a process. It is, because post-traumatic stress disorder is very serious, okay? Some people think, well, that's just something that Vietnam vets and people who've gone to war, any kind of trauma. You know, if you saw somebody being what do you call it? If you saw somebody murdered in front of you or something like that, that can cause post-traumatic stress disorder. If, you know, or in situations where you feel threatened or constantly in a state of anxiety and fear. And when you're being called into interviews and people are messing with your form of your way of living, your lifestyle, your ability to take care of yourself, everything that you have, all I have is my ability to use my skills to make a living for myself, okay? And when somebody's kind of toying with that and thinking it's funny, it is almost like somebody raping you and taunting you and torturing you. That's exactly how it feels, okay? That I cannot tell you how traumatizing that is. And then you're talking to grown adults, you know, who strangely get respect by the people that they are around, and they don't get it, and they constantly want to keep lunging at you, you know, like some crazy lunatic, by still continuing to attach on and manipulate your employment, your way of living, your ability to take care of yourself, your means of survival, okay? So you can understand how, I mean, hopefully you can understand, because I will say that if I have to make 600 something videos, obviously it takes a long time for people to grasp it. It's very difficult for some people to grasp. Why? I don't know. But I will say, it's just like, you know, somebody, you know, let's just say, for example, you had a family business, okay? Like maybe you had a, I don't know, farm or something, and somebody just ignited your farm on fire, or they killed all your livestock, or something like that. It is the equivalent of that. You know, it's exactly how it feels. Like somebody just dropped a bomb on everything that you had. And that's exactly how it feels. And they feel no reason to explain to you why, or what, you know, why, or any justification. They're putting you in a situation where you have to figure it out, okay? And oftentimes when people are gang stalked, like I said, it's a debate over issues that are personal, things that are, you know, not, that should be considered discriminatory. In this case, I was discriminated based on my hair issue, I think, which I think everybody knows that most black people, I'm not saying most, okay, but there's a lot of black women who have problems with their hair, okay? And I've walked into certain stores in town, and I've seen some black women who are wearing fake hair, whether that be weaves or, you know, wigs or full wigs or partial wigs or whatever. So I'm not the only one, you know, who's doing that. It's just something that we do. Some people have, you know, hair issues, and they want to protect their hair, their real hair, and so on and so forth, okay? So I'm not the only one, but I'm being singled out, okay? And I'm tired of it. I'm very tired of it. And not only do black women wear fake hair, I've seen a lot of white women wearing it too. And, you know, I will say that, you know, a lot of white women do wear it, but most people don't really think about it because, you know, it's just, they just expect that to be their hair. But anyway, it's discrimination. It's discrimination. It is discrimination, and it's a form of sexual harassment. And so the arrogance, or the ignorance, I should say, it's more ignorant on their part. I mean, they are extremely arrogant in other ways, okay? But when it comes to, you know, the issue relating to my hair, it is ignorance, okay? Because, you know, obviously white people know that black people's hair is different, but they don't realize exactly how fragile it is and how sensitive it is to heat and the natural hair patterns that we have, and how, you know, easy it is to literally break off if you're continually straightening it all the time. So the intricate details relating to our hair is something that's misunderstood by white people. Regardless of the fact, you know, I dress appropriately to work, I'm presentable, and I'm extremely professional in my behavior, my mannerisms, my appearance as well. So, wrong on your part, and it is a form of discrimination. It really is. So, but when you consider all of these issues, and I stated my case well, I would say, especially in the beginning, I remember doing some articles on LinkedIn, in which I know that Karen Johnson, I don't have a chance to look at because she endorsed me for a skill that I would never want, and I know she saw it, you know, and I was making serious, I mean, I thought, how could you not understand this? How could you not understand, you know, this is before I even knew the cube guy was involved. How could you not understand what you're doing is wrong? But still, regardless, you know, these people continued on. I mean, I can't see, and how is it that you can't feel traumatized when somebody's basically, you know, yanking everything you have underneath, I mean, everything you have, and yanking it from underneath your feet, and you're screaming. It's like, you know, somebody holding a woman back after they're burning her house down. You know what I mean? And she's just like, how could you do this? That's exactly how I feel. It is traumatizing. It is extremely traumatizing. So post-traumatic stress disorder is not something that can be ruled out. Obviously, I am going through some serious symptoms of anxiety and fear. And I shouldn't have to, because I shouldn't have to be harassed. And to me, going into job interviews like that is a form of terrorism. It is. You know, what is the point of me doing that if you have no intention of hiring me? That's bullshit. You know what I mean? And it's basically saying, I'm taking everything that you have, and you know what, I think it's funny, and I'm destroying your life. That's exactly the message that is getting sent to me. And I'm being terrorized, and that's exactly what it is. It's terrorism. You know, it's like somebody being unsuspecting. You know, I had no reason or to believe that why somebody would be attacking me like this for the longest time. I couldn't figure it out. I have done nothing wrong in the workplace to deserve this or to, you know, make these people latch on, except for the influence of my family, which my family, and they should know anyway, when you're over the age of 18, you are a legal adult. So what my family thinks, or what my mommy thinks, or, you know, what my controlling sisters think, or whatever, should have no bearing on anything, because I'm a grown adult and I have the right to live my life however I want. My life doesn't need any correction. Okay, I'm very content with the way I live and the way that I see things. Okay, because I do believe that I base things on fact. Okay, and I live according to what the law says. You know, I don't inflict my bullshit on other people. And you know, but these people aren't. They don't get it. You know, and so please just get the hell out of my life for me. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna wrap this video up. You know, I needed to say stuff, you know, because this is very, very, it weighs heavily on my mind. 24 hours a day, non-stop. Why? Because when you're getting calls from people across the United States, when you have been blocked from employment, when you've gone into job interviews and people are fucking with you, and I will tell you that it sends a message that your life is in danger. You know, and you tell people, I'm not comfortable with this, and they continue the game. What the fuck is wrong with you? Something's wrong, you know, obviously. I don't appreciate it, you know. I was blocked for no reason. And so, and I don't care, you know, who or what reason, or they think that, you know, based on my marital status or whatever, all of that is against the law. I have the right to take care of myself, period. I do, you know, and I'm all by myself in this world. And I would never allow anybody to take care of me, period. You know, because I have dealt with abusive people all my life. Okay, and I don't know if that's very hard, if that's difficult for people to understand. But, you know, not everybody gets to have, you know, the home, the picket fence, and all of this other stuff, okay, like that, and all those, like, you know, storybook, fairy tale type stuff, okay? Some people have dealt with, or people who have personalities that are more likely to be abusive. If you're extremely, if you're like, I don't know, an intelligent person, and oftentimes you have habits that you have, you know, had for a very long period of time, and some people may not necessarily agree with that, especially later on in life, you know what I mean? So, like, a person, if I was to be married to a guy who had a lot of money, there's a very good chance that I could be in an abusive situation. Why? Because I'm not close to my family. You know, I'm all by myself. And if he's pulling all the strings, he's got me right where he wants me. And he can do whatever he wants with me. And that's the way that it is. And that is terrifying to a woman. Okay? And so I have to take care of myself. Okay? I would never want anybody taking care of me. And that's what I decided as I got older. You know what I mean? Because I realized this is the kind of person I am. So it's not me showing an act of defiance. It's not defiance, okay? For some women, their life is this way. For my life, this is what I have developed into. And, you know, I'm okay with that. I really am. And I'm more than willing to, you know, do what I have to do in order to take care of myself. You know, regardless. Like I said, a guy with money, a guy without money. With money, I would still take care of myself. And I would tell him, I don't want anything from you, and I don't expect you to want anything from me. Why? Because I don't want to be abused. Period. You know, it's that simple. So anyway, and I don't expect other people to understand it, but I will say that as my right as an American citizen, I have my rights to take care of myself, to protect myself, and to live my life accordingly based off of what I had to deal with in my life. My life experiences have made me who I am. So therefore, I have a right to do that. I have the right. That's why these laws are in place to protect women. Okay? Protect women from this kind of bullshit. You know what I mean? It's wrong. Anyway, so I think I said what I had to say, and I'm glad that I said it. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up. I will be back with another one later. Take care.